Okay, in this video, I will be discussing about what you should do when you get a retro computer. So this computer, this is based on a Pentium 4 2.4 gigahertz socket 478. It's based on that. It's based on that processor. And when I first got it, there was no hard drive in this thing. I had I think it was a zip drive or something right here in this 3.5 inch bay. So I put a hard drive in it, a 3.5 inch hard drive that I had somewhere. It's a Seagate 160 gigabyte EIDE hard drive. So with these old computers, you're not going to have SATA ports, so you're going to need a hard drive that has an IDE or EIDE interface, or you could buy some kind of a converter unit which will convert from SATA to IDE or EIDE, and you connect it into your motherboard and put it into your computer. So that's what I did with this hard drive. I mean, with this hard drive, I just used the extra 160 EIDE hard drive that I already had, and the optical drive was pretty much worn out. I needed to use a new one, basically, or use one that I had. I'm glad I kept these EIDE optical DVD drives and CD drives. As for the CD drive, they don't work anymore. So what this computer came with was a IDE CD-ROM CDRW drive, and it was really slow and it didn't work well. It was probably well over 19 years old, so it didn't work. So this computer it says a data connections personal computer, and this is typical of how computers look like in the late 1990s and early 2000s. It looked pretty much like this. And I'm gonna open it up. It's a little bit different than the way that you open it up. There are no screws in this computer which are holding the case in place. But you can see there are no screws. Well, there's a screw here, but you don't need it. There's a case screw. It didn't come with it. And this computer uses a standard 20-pin ATX power supply, and it came with a 350 watt power supply, and it seems to be working pretty good. And the way that you open this thing is, the person who built this computer put some kind of arrows on here pushing this way. So I guess the way you get it out, I already got it out before. So what you do is you pull back here. No, I'm sorry, you push the hinge out like that, but you can't pull it out because there's no screw holding it in place. So what you do is you pull on this, pull this out a little, so that kind of like releases it. Gotta pull it out a little more, I think. Yeah, now it's released. And that's how you get it out. Let me we're gonna put this back in. So this computer came with a I think it's the NVIDIA Geforce 2 MX 32 megabyte graphics 3D graphics card 3D accelerator. So this is a budget version of the Geforce 2 series, probably the lowest tier graphics card for the Voodoo 2, and it came with a, I think this is dial-up modem or something. I don't know what the brand is. Let me check. I don't know what says Intel on it. I have no idea what the heck that is. But all I know is it's a 56K baud modem, and as you can see right there, it has a phone jack. This goes into the phone, and this part goes into the wall. So that's how you connected 56K baud modems back in the 1990s and stuff. I don't know why it has that in there, because broadband internet became very popular in the early 2000s and late 1990s, around 1999. It was becoming very affordable. So this computer uses RD RAMs. So those RAM pieces were pretty expensive. I had them when I was using my it was a Pentium for 1.8 gigahertz socket 423. Only had RAM slots. So this is the CPU, and as for the power supply, I think it's good. I think it's good enough. It came with a 50 watt power supply. And it was fairly clean when I got it. So I guess they put that in recently. So it has a intake fan. I think it's an 80 millimeter. It's typical of these late 1990s and early 2000 Pentium 4, Pentium 3 or Pentium 2 types of computers. And you'd had a 80 millimeter exhauster fan, which is right here, which was typical of these type of computers. I don't know if that's an 80 or not. Let me check. It looks a little bit bigger than 80. Maybe it's a 92 millimeter fan or something. I'm not sure, but it's definitely not a 120. Probably not that. But it's bigger than 80. I know that it's bigger than the front fan. So that's what I know about it. And yeah. So another thing about getting a retro computer like this is, in a lot of cases, or some cases, it will not come with a hard drive. So you're gonna have to reinstall install an operating system in it, and you would also have to install all the drivers in it, and you have to find out what kind of motherboard this is and the parts that you have in it in order for you to know that, right? So so I know this is a Geforce 2 MX 32 megabyte video card. So if you install Windows 10 on Windows XP on it, then that's not going to be a problem. It's going to detect this automatically, because this card was produced before Windows XP came out, which was, I think it came out in around maybe 2002. Windows XP. I'm not sure, 2001 or 2002. You could correct me on the in the comment section, because I don't remember off the bat. So yeah, this is a Geforce 2 MX 32 megabyte, and this is just some generic 56K modem, which I will not even use because I use broadband internet now, right? So in this particular computer, right there, you see it? The builder of this computer was good enough to write down what kind of model number and motherboard this is, who made it. So it was made by Intel. Right, it's D850EM V2 motherboard. And they put the layout of the motherboard on the bottom panel as well. So I know what it is. So now I could go on the internet and Google the motherboard make and the model and find the drivers for it quite easily. And you just have to find the chipset driver for the computer. That's all you have to do to get it to work. And if you know the model and make of the motherboard, you could find all the other drivers for, like the driver for the network port and the sound card and everything else, and you should be able to get the computer to work. That's all you really need if you find a retro computer like this. You will have to do some work on it, because sometimes the power supply could be old and it could be failing. You know, it's probably not going to, you're going to be able to use the computer for maybe a year or two or whatever, or maybe 6 months, and then the power supply would just die and not work. So you just replace the power supply, which is just standard ATX power supply. And these things are available. You know, you could buy them on eBay, Amazon. You could go to your local electronics or computer store and buy it. And it's not a lot of money, you know, to replace it. And it doesn't require a lot of skill or effort to do that. It's pretty easy to do. And so another thing you have to do is when you get a retro computer like this, it's probably going to be dusty. So you're going to have to blow all the dust out of it. There was quite a bit of dust in this computer when I got it. So this computer, I didn't buy it. It's just like my mom's friend just gave it to my mom, and then my mom just gave it to me. So that's how I got it. And the first thing I did was I plugged it in and tried to turn it on. And since there was no hard drive in it, it wouldn't boot into any operating system. And so I figured I just put a new hard drive in here and the operating system, and it should work, and it did. And for this particular computer, you could play a lot of retro games on it. You could probably play Quake 2. You could play Half-Life. I don't know about Half-Life 2. That's a little bit, those games are a little bit later. You would need something a little bit better than a Geforce 2 MX video card to play it, you know, and a better processor as well. So this computer would be ideal for playing games from, let's say, 2000 to maybe 1998. You could play 98 games to the later Windows 98 games, which came out in 1999 and the 2000s. You could play those games. And I think Windows 98 games were being released even in like the early or mid 2001 as well, in 2001. So that's a thing. And I will be firing up this computer, and I will show you this computer and what kind of games I can run on it. So those are the tips that you take when you get a retro computer. Sometimes they're completed computers. They have everything in there, everything that works. The hard drive, the optical drive, the floppy drive, the power supply may be in good shape, and the fans and everything. And the hard drive is working okay. But the points of failure I will go over could be the hard drive. It's their old. The optical drives could be failing, or they could have failed already. And the power supply could also be failing, or has failed. You know, if the computer doesn't turn on, it could probably be the power supply that's bad or something. And that's about it. I'm gonna close this thing back up again. This case is a bit weird. Got cut. Damn, this thing has a lot of rigid, sharp edges on it. I didn't get cut, I just got scratched. The way the way you get this thing back on is you zoom out at that. There's these little tabs right there. Just connect it to here. It just goes right in. And then again, I have to move this thing out so I could get it in. They just slide it in like that. Push it in and then snap it in place, and that's how you get this type of case to close. This is quite weird. I've never seen anything like this ever. First time I ever got something like this. I'm going to show you the back of this computer. So computers like this had I think that's a bus port or a serial port. It has a serial mouse port. That's for the mouse, and that's for the keyboard. And let's see. I don't know, that's some kind of COM port. That's a parallel port, that's for the printer. It has a network LAN port. It has 2 USB ports. I think these are USB 2s. And of course it has a onboard sound, microphone, speaker, and I don't know what that is. That's a line or something. And of course that's a graphics card. That's the display. This guy did a pretty good job of labeling everything. And that's the modem. And he labeled that too, like that's line and phone. So there's no confusion. Whoever built this computer did a pretty good job, I think. I think this was probably built by some small shop that built computers. There used to be a lot of these small computer stores that put computers like this together. Nowadays, I don't think there are that many now. There aren't that many computer stores around because a lot of people are doing it themselves. And the parts for it are so cheap. People are going to like they're going to like Amazon and Tiger Direct and Newegg to buy the parts, and they watch some instructional video on how to do that and put it together. So yeah, computer stores like this, a lot of them went out of business like in the maybe around 2005 to 2010. A lot of them went out under. That's about it. Okay, thanks. I will be making another video on booting this computer up. I'll be back. Okay, in this video I will be running some games on that Pentium 4 socket 478 computer I showed you earlier. So I'll show you the specs of this computer. It has Windows XP SP2 in it, 512 megabytes of RAM. It's a Pentium 4 2.40 gigahertz computer with a socket 478. Go to device manager. So this is a Geforce 2 MX 200 32 megabyte graphic card. Has an optical drive. Processor is a Pentium 4 2.4 gigahertz computer with no hyper-threading. Sound card is a AC97 based sound card. So the computer basically works, and I'm going to be running Starcraft on it. And this game was made, I think, in 1997. I'm not sure, but runs perfectly.
What you got for me out there, Joey Ray?
We got terror for sure. I don't know about the rest. We got a big old buttload of floating debris out here. We hit taters this time for sure. Explain to me how we gonna get all this home. I'm detached and moving towards the derelict spacecraft. Damn it, Jim. Video's out again.
Well, quit picking at it.
I ain't picking at it, damn it. I'm out here with a hands in my giddy up and here and there slapping your neck.
Okay, played that pretty good.
Entire Executor. Thank you, Sophie.
This game runs pretty good. And this is a very old game. This was designed for Windows 98, I think, or 95, I'm not sure. I didn't have to tweak this game to get it to work, it just worked. I don't want to put it at the fastest speed. This is already too fast for this.
The warriors have engaged the enemy. Initiated. Lock party. For vengeance. Proceeding. For vengeance. Lock party. For vengeance. Ragazzi. Commencing.
A game like this is CPU dependent, basically. And a CPU like this is an overkill for a game like this, which was designed to be running on a maybe a Pentium 166 MMX or a Pentium 233 MMX. But this is running on Windows XP, you see. It works. It works good. The next game I'll be running is Star Wars Jedi Knight. Just gonna turn off the sound so I don't get a copyright infringement. So everything on this game runs, videos and everything. This is many times better than using something like PC and emulator, because it's so much smoother and faster. Enough of that. This game did require quite a bit of tweaking to get it to work. It wasn't that, there's a lot of things you have to do to get an old game like this to work. Okay, now I'm going to turn the sound on. There's no music, so there's no copyright infringement. Okay. This game runs perfectly. After I fell to his death. Alright, good. Hey. See if there's anything there. Got something. Not bad. Not bad. This little bastard. Alright. This game was made in, I think, 96 or something. This is a very old game. And it works on this computer with this graphics card. You know, there's something under here. Uh-oh. Shot an innocent person. Nope. That's good enough. You know this works now. As for the tweaking part, I have to go into settings and change the graphics setting around. Enable the 3D accelerator and set the right graphics. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, that's it, I guess. And you just have to do a little tweaking, and you have to go into there and change the controls as well. No, the controls are fine. Everything's fine. Just gonna exit. That's it for that. That game works. Okay, the next game I'll be running is Mortyr. So I have the original game. This is the original game for it. The problem with this game is it's a little bit too fast. It's very fast. Show you what I mean. That is very fast. There's supposed to be armor around here. Can't find it. I don't think this game was meant to be played on a Pentium 4. I played this game on a Pentium 3, I think. It's Pentium 3 550 back in 1999. Oh man, it's too fast. Okay, the next game I will be trying will be Half-Life. Okay, let me get that. So if you have the Geforce 2 MX 200 or the 400 video card, you can't run the game in OpenGL mode. It simply won't work. So you have to use Direct 3D when you run it. So I'll try to run it in OpenGL. I'll show you that it doesn't work. See, it says, let me get that back in focus. It says, the selected OpenGL mode is not supported by your video card. That's what sucks about using the Geforce 2 MX series of graphics card. So I have to run it on Direct 3D. Get that back in focus.
To the Black Mesa Transit System. This automated train is provided for the security and
it is running in 3D mode, as you can see.
Facility personnel. The time is.
But I have to say the game is a bit sluggish with this video card.
The temperature is 93 degrees, with an estimated high of 105. The Black Mesa compound is maintained at a pleasant 68 degrees at all times. This train is inbound from Level 3 dormitories to Sector C test labs and control facilities. If your intended destination is a high security beyond Sector C, you will need to return to the central transit hub in Area 9 and board a high security train. If you have not yet submitted your identity to the retinal clearance system, you must report to Black Mesa personnel for processing before you will be permitted into the high security branch of the transit system. Due to the high toxicity of material routinely handled in the Black Mesa compound,
I'm surprised this
no
game even
smoking,
runs.
eating, or drinking are permitted within the Black Mesa transit system.
This is a very old game. It was made in like
inside the train at all times.
1996 or
Do
something.
not attempt to
Very
open
old.
the doors
Let me check that
until
to just
the train
make
has
sure.
come to a complete halt at the station platform. In the event of an emergency, passengers are to remain seated and await further instruction. If it is necessary to exit the train, disabled personnel should be evacuated first. Please stay away from electrified rails and proceed to an emergency station.
No, it actually came out in 1998 around November. And I played this game on a, I think it was a Pentium 166 MMX computer with 3DFX Voodoo 1 3D accelerator with 4 megabytes of RAM and a S3 Verge video card. So when you use a 3DFX 3D accelerator, you needed a graphics card in addition to the 3D accelerator. That's how it worked.
Will commence this evening at 1900 hours in the Level 3 facility. The semi-finals for high security personnel will be announced.
Seems to be running okay with this graphics card.
More lives than your own may depend on your fit.
Get the mouse filter, just tweak it a little bit. There it is. Mouse filter. See if that's a little bit smoother.
Do you have a friend or relative who would make a valuable addition to the Black Mesa team?
Crashed. What?
Immediate openings are available in the areas of materials handling and low clearance security. Please contact Black Mesa personnel for further information.
Let me try something. Let me try to save it.
If you have an associate in the background in the areas of
I guess it crashed or something. That's crappy. I'll run it again. See, when I'm moving around using mouse, look, it's kind of skipping frames and stuff like that. It's slow.
Is grounds for immediate termination. If you feel you have been exposed to radioactive or other hazardous materials in the course of your duties, contact your radiation safety officer immediately. Work safe. Work smart. Your future depends on it.
So this game is a bit buggy with this graphics card,
and control facilities.
because I didn't encounter anything like that on my other retro computers.
Please stand back from the automated door and wait for the security officer
this is
to
quite
verify
choppy.
your identity. Before exiting the train, be sure to check your area for personal belongings. Thank you, and have a very safe and productive day.
Morning, Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
This is the same security guard you encounter in Half-Life 2. When he becomes like a combine guard or something. Well, let me in already. See how choppy that is? It's almost unplayable.
Hey, Mr. Freeman, I had a bunch of messages for you. Greetings! It's good to see you.
Seems to be running okay.
Weren't you supposed to be in the test chamber half an hour ago? As I expected. Right on through, sir. Looks like you're in the barrel pit. Greetings.
For some reason, there's a little bit of latency.
Dr. Freeman to anomalous materials test laboratory in the evening.
Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna try opposing forces. Game crashed again. Okay, let's try opposing forces. See if that works any better. Bad thing is it's sluggish.
Okay, Go 7. Proceed to sector 112LZ and rendezvous with Alpha Bravo Tango. Over. Copy that, HQ.
And where the hell are we anyway? Well, the pilot thought we were heading to your mother's house. So far, this all looks familiar. Yeah, that's real cute, Jack. Anytime, anywhere. Hey, man, you smell that? Smell what? Smells like another babysitting job to me, man. No shit, man. Babysitting job my ass. This has Brady mission written all over it. Why else would they have kept our orders from us for so long, huh? Yeah, what the hell is that all about? Throwing our asses in this humping junk and not even telling us what we're going in for, man. Do you have a problem, Private? I will give you your orders when we have reached the LZ. You got that, soldier? Sir, yes, sir. That.
Watch your vector, Goose 3. It's getting a little tight in here.
And if this is another search and rescue operation, I'm going to be pissed. Yeah, I'm going to be pissed too when I got to search out and rescue your sorry ass.
Anyone out there got a good view of the LZ yet? Negative, Goose 7. I can see some activity up there, but I can't tell when I can.
Hey, sir, I think Jackson just got the high.
Alien ship, sir.
Three, four, five,
See how this runs.
2, 3, 4, 5.
It's a bit sluggish.
Oh, you've woken up. Corporal Shepard, is it? I've read the tag on your uniform. I'm glad to see my life-saving efforts weren't in vain. I can't say the same for him. I'm afraid you have been through a serious accident. Most of your friends didn't make it. I was hoping that you soldiers had come to rescue us, but now it seems we are all in the same situation. I think I saw a radio near the crash site where I found you. Perhaps you can go there and radio for help? Do you recall anything?
Contamination cleanup. 7 access required.
So it runs okay.
So glad I didn't take the janitor's job. Yeah.
Warning. Extreme radiation.
Crap, have you ever seen such magnificent species? These crabs can completely control Hey, soldiers. All right, let's go. Okay, Shepard, I see you found your power vest. That should keep you safe out there. You know, I've heard rumors that you troops may not actually be here to rescue us. Just don't forget about us out there. Alrighty? Okay, I'll let you through now.
Well, this game doesn't run too fast or anything. It's playable. A little bit sluggish, but still playable. Okay, I think I have to hit that one. That worked. Oh, it is playable. That's... Oh man, what the hell is that? Eat it. Crap. That thing is vicious. You don't get a crowbar like Gordon Freeman. I guess you get a wrench. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No. No. Uh-oh. Ah! Good thing it saves automatically. Oh, shoot. Okay. You're supposed to jump across that, man. Okay, run is always on. I got a better weapon. A knife. Little bastard. Whoops. That fence is like electrocuted. Electrified. Oh shit. So far, no crashes when I'm playing the game, which is a good thing. not. I'm aiming at it. One inaccurate weapon. Almost dead. Oh well, okay, I know it works now. That's good. It's a good thing. Okay, that game works, kind of, sort of. The next game I'll be running is Age of Empires. Good. A game like this is just dependent on the CPU or the processor. So it should run fine. A lot of Windows 98 games will work on Windows XP just fine. See how fast very fast is. You won't have any problems running real-time strategy games on XP with the Pentium 4. Well, there are some games that I have problems with running with this computer, and that would be a Shogo Mobile Armor Division. I'll show you that in a second. Sorry about my squeaky chair. Problem that I have with it. It doesn't display the intro screen. And this thing, I have this problem with the text. So when you run it in software mode, you don't have the problem. You can see everything. Well, you don't have any problems here, at least. You could see this. I don't think it's a computer that's causing this problem. I think it's a graphics card. Just doesn't like running that game. So the next game I'll be running is Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire. This game runs fine. There's no problem with it whatsoever.
Road crew, we need to give our transport time to escape. Take out those Imperial probe droids. Here.
This game runs just fine. This game was made in 1997. I think it was also released for the Super Nintendo. I mean, N64. Yeah, this game runs pretty good. This game runs well. And shooting at me. It is a bit sluggish because this is a budget graphics card after all. But it is playable. Definitely is playable.
Coming around. Fire harpoon now.
Alright, that's enough. I know it runs. But it doesn't run very well. But that's to be expected with a Geforce 2 MX 232 megabyte video card, because it is like I said, it is a budget card. If you used a Geforce 2 GTS or Ultra, it would be a lot better. Okay, anyways, that concludes this video. Thank you for watching. So a computer like this won't run every single game. Like you saw earlier, I had problems running a Shogo Mobile Armor Division, and probably Blood 2 would also have the same problem. But it ran a lot of the games, and I was pretty satisfied with it. Okay, thanks for watching.